TV Puerto Rico, estoy en la bodega de Méndez, muy emocionado porque es la primera vez que voy a probar vinos de Eslovenia y primera vez que va a salir en el canal de Wine News TV Puerto Rico vinos de ese país. Me acompaña el señor Greg Rivera de August Imports. Greg, ¿cómo estás? How are you? So you are pretty excited about being in Puerto Rico, I guess. Right?
I'm originally excited to be, back home and introduce all these wines from Slovenia to the Puerto Rican public. Yes, I am.
So for those out there who may have never heard or even tried, for that matter, wines from Slovenia, how would you describe the wines that are, and obviously you cannot make generalizations, but how would you describe Slovenia as a wine producing country?
Well, as it turns to modern all-world style wine, Slovenia is probably one of the ones that are coming into the forefront. Because of the styles from this particular area called Gorisca Berta. There is nothing in continuation from the Collo Goriciano in Italy into Slovenia. And this particular area, because of the influence from the Adriatic Sea and the Alps, give kind of a nuance of what Napa used to be back in the 80s when the red wines had balance and they were absolutely delicious. They had soul, exactly. And then the reflection in the white wines is more of the typical stuff from Slovenia of aging and fermenting wines in barrel using those native grapes from the area. So it's very exciting for them that they're finally being discovered by the rest of the world.
And this winery is called Ed Simšiš, right?
Eddie Simšiš, correct.
Simšiš.
Eddie Simšiš is the dad. He started the whole the winery in 1989.
All right.
And now it's basically led by his son Alex and his Alex's son Yuri. They basically run.
And are these brand new in Puerto Rico? Have they just arrived to Méndez, or they've been on the island for sale for a while?
Oh, they're so new. There's I think yesterday is when we did the official launch.
So this is kind of a premiere with me.
Pues claro que sí, yeah, it is.
All right, so let's get into the wines. Sure. I know people are here to hear about new wines, new labels, new products that are available in our beautiful island. Let's get to the first one. What can you tell me about this one? And salud. Always good to toast with friends.
Yeah, so the first wine from Simčiš is a Rebula 2018. Rebula is one of the, what you would call almost the native grapes from this general area. Most people think they're from Italy, but most of the quality Rebulas come from the area. The cool thing in this style of Rebula is Alex actually barrel ferments this in French oak. So it gives them kind of that typicity of place and that unique style from Simčiš and some of the other producers from the general area. And then he ages it very slightly on French oak as well, but very slight, just to give it, round it up.
It's a kiss, right? I could see,
it's just like a little, un poquito de sal y pimienta.
Yeah, I could see the homage to Burgundy in a subtle way, right?
And you will see that even more so when we get to the Chardonnay, because that is what Alex is going for.
And that's what they grow in for white Burgundy. Yeah, that's what they make there. The nose is beautiful. I love the freshness, minerality, but there's boldness, white fruit, stone fruit. There's power, but there's freshness. There's balance.
You're absolutely correct, and that is probably because of this, like I told you, that influence from the Adriatic Sea, that brings full ripeness of grapes, into the bottle. That then through the fermentation and production area really brings it up to the very aromatic.
Yeah, the way it lands and falls on the palate, its structure is well endowed, but it feels weightless. I mean, it's got lovely acidity.
I was going to say that.
Sometimes it's hard to achieve good mouth-watering acidity in a wine that it's a little gordito.
It's fatty. It's not high alcohol. It has only 13% alcohol.
It's beautiful.
But you see that glycerin working in your palate almost, and you will get in like Marsanne, Roussanne, really good Marsanne, Roussanne from Rhone, and that acidity is actually right now I'm salivating. It's perfect because of that for food pairings and all.
Yeah, and then you also get that lemon oil, that citrusy mandarin-like note at the end from Cool Climate. Of course, there's no tropical papaya or mango here. None of that. It's beautiful, beautiful wine. If I call you one day and I say, "Hey, Greg, I bought a bottle of this," what do you pair it with?
Well,
aside from a good friend, right?
Right, exactly. Well, this one with risottos will go really well in that area with speck and prosciutto, but with pork loin, grilled pork loin goes absolutely fantastic. And then yesterday, place that we were doing this lunch in the trade, I had a sopa de calabaza that was absolutely outstanding. It was
bet.
like one of the best pairings I've seen for this type of wine. It was
bet.
really
Beautiful.
delicious.
Let's get
really
into
delicious.
the second one. We kind of spoke about a little bit. This is a Chardonnay, 100% Chardonnay?
This is 100% Chardonnay. This is a single cru. It's from a little village called Cosana. That it's not even 15 minutes, from the border with Italy. This is Eddie's and Alex's homage to Montrachet, or that's what what they're going for, right? Exactly. Very much like I'll start with the Rebola. This also is barrel fermented in French oak and then aged in French oak as well.
You know that wine provides huge doses of humility because you make so many mistakes when you're blind tasting, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
If you and that's a process of learning, right? Making mistakes and failing for that matter. But if you were to pour this blind to me, I would scream, "Why Burgundy? Why Burgundy?" I'm sure it's Burgundy, right?
That is true. I was telling the guys at Mendes when I was with them that when I give my master classes, sometimes I like to trick my students by bringing these wines because they always think it's either Burgundy or the rest they think is Bordeaux. So it's kind of pretty fun to
it's lovely. I mean, I get the lemon oil again, and you have that beautiful note of flowers, and you have that sort of apple, which is not green but yellowish.
This is more like baked apple, kind of like brush apple, as we say. And you have some toasty and almondy notes, but not over the top. And once again, the acidity is what I like about these wines, because for longevity, these wines, you can put them away in your cellar.
These are very gastronomic wines.
And then,
these are wines meant to be paired with food, and they're very elegant. I mean, I couldn't expect anything less.
And delicious, and very affordable for
delicious. Do you happen to know the suggested price here in Puerto Rico for these ones?
Rebola will be around the 30s, something like 30s, that. 30s.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll put the numbers in the.
Yeah. But it's really affordable, especially the Cosana. When you
30s,
compare
like mid-30s. The first one you would say mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s.
Thereabouts.
Cosana a little bit higher, probably in the 40s, something like that.
The Cosana can stand next to any white Burgundy. It's lovely. It's delicious. It's not invasive. It's bold. It's powerful, but it's prudente, right?
And the aromatics. I mean, Chardonnay is a grape that tends to be neutral in aromatics, and when you get aromatics, it's mostly from barrel aging. But this one has kind of that very distinct aromas, like you well stated. Bruised fruit.
I would go with a nice lobster thermidor with this. What do you think? Good.
I don't know. I definitely. I would like to go like a grilled, pork loin with some red tomato
lechon,
grilled
right?
Lechon. Oh yeah, lechon asado will be absolutely great.
Yeah.
With this or pasteles, even though
Let's go into the reds. A lot of people in Puerto Rico prefer reds. Our climate, our weather is much more suited for whites and bubbles, but we all love our reds. And I've heard, offline that these are very, very elegant Bordeaux-like wines. Tell me about this. The first one is, what's the name?
It's called Duet Lex,
Okay.
and Duet because Eddie and Alec, when they were started working, and Lex actually is a term in Slovenia, at least the Simšić do, to denote that this is a Reserva style if they were in Italy.
Okay.
Reserva style is a quality level that is not recognized as style in Slovenia. So in order for them to let the general public know that this is a Reserva style, they put the Lex designation on it.
All right, let's get into it.
It's 80% Merlot, 10% Cabernet Franc, 10% Cabernet Sauvignon, coming from 30-year-old vines. Everything they do is organic, dry farm, sustainable farming, hand farm. They co-ferment this.
What a beautiful note.
In French oak, and after fermentation, they put it on stainless steel to give it a little bit more time, and then in oak.
I'm loving the black cherry, the plum. There's a little bit of cassis, maybe coming from the cab, a little bit of pepper, and there's this fresh note of very healthy, very sort of sane fruit, right? A gorgeous, luscious fruit.
A little bit of plum in it, with a little spicy notes.
Yeah.
Just a slight black pepper as well.
Just a touch, just a hint.
And when you get to taste it,
a little bit of herbs. There are some fresh herbs as well. Let's see.
He saw the smooth tannins, go through you. I mean, You see that astringency, but it's really smooth. It goes, all through the back of your mouth. And then the acidity that is very,
It's savory.
yeah, it's very savory.
It's crunchy. The fruit is alive. It's energetic. Has a lot of life, and the finish is long.
Long finish.
Keeps reverberating.
We'll be here for hours, and it will still be there.
And it has that sort of, in a good way, drying finish that makes you want to go for a bite of meat or something.
Yep.
Right? Wow.
Something
Lovely,
really
lovely
nice. These I like to pair with meats. I mean, some folks prefer. You'll take the colos, with something a little bit heartier, like New York strips,
Right.
Prime ribs. I like these actually with very lean meats, filet mignons and stuff like that, because I think it's a wine that it really doesn't need all that fat or nothing
Yeah.
to go well, and it's really
What I
well
love about this wine is that it wants to be a complement to the food or to the conversation. Sometimes there are certain wines made from these grapes that just are so big and
huge.
chunky and
They're huge.
pelo en pecho, right?
Yeah.
But this is
And
very, very
That's
elegant.
mostly the way they age it, the treatment in oak, and even though this is French oak for almost 4 years, you see that you actually see it, but it's not there overpowering.
Let me ask you something, Greg. In terms of aging, let's say that somebody wants to come to Mendes, buy even the whites. In terms of the reds, can they stand for the long haul, 10, 15 years?
They do it. Legs actually can stay up to 20, 25 years.
20, 25
Yeah.
years. Wow.
Yeah. And actually, it gets better. Now you see like all that characters of fruit
Yeah.
in the front end. I've been tasting the 07
Keeps
Cinchich
getting
lately,
better.
and you get that secondary and tertiary, flavors coming through that actually then taste even closer to Bordeaux.
There's sweet tobacco here. Wow. It keeps opening up like like an onion. Like it has layers and it keeps kind of evolving in the glass. Lovely, lovely. This wine cannot be less than $80. How much is this wine?
I don't think it's $80. It's probably in the 60s or something like that.
60s,
60s,
70s.
70s, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful. And you know what? As a Christmas gift, which it's
But then Arbolito de
el
Navidad
arbolito,
right there.
it's so near us in terms of timing. This would be a great gift because those wine lovers out there are used to getting Spanish wines and Napa wine, but if you give them a Slovenian wine,
That's
then,
a special gift.
then that's a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
Especially from one of those great baskets they make here in Mendes.
Of
that
course.
would be awesome.
Come to Mendes and get a different
Right.
gift for
Right.
your loved one.
So, and when we go to Colos, and I'll mention it because it works for both. I mean, this is a wine that if you want to aerate it in a decanter, it doesn't need decanting.
Right.
Right now, you don't have that separation of sediments. But to open it up, it actually gives you what the wine gives you, and it tastes even more like Bordeaux in a right way.
Okay, we're getting to the
Yeah.
piece de résistance.
Oh my
We're getting
God.
to the caldo de la calandriaca. We're getting to Cinderella's missing
This-
shoe.
Co-
We're getting to Cleopatra's pajamas. Right?
Colos is a as they call one of those legendary wines that people love. But
No.
But so Colos, it's nothing more than Alex vintage declaration. When he declares a vintage, he selects the best barrel from the declared vintage, and he bottles it. Production is really tiny. I think the last time he went crazy in the 2017 and came up with 2 barrels. That's the most he has ever
The
made.
concentration of flavor. I mean, this is a beast. It's
But look at the aromatics too.
Yeah, the
I mean,
aromatics are there. But here you also get charred meats, you get pepper, of course, you get a little bit of cocoa, like dark coffee or espresso roast, but herbs and freshness, and oh my God,
a little bit more earthy in the aromas than Duet Legs.
some maraschino cherries, some anisado, some freshness. It's effing awesome. Not
You
to
can
say
you
the
can
other
put
word.
some of these, as hemorrhones for you, and it will
Wow.
definitely.
And then there's this irony, sanguínea. Una nota como
sanguine,
bloody.
a little bloody.
Oh my God, what a effing wow, what a beautiful wine. And I heard that there are only 30 bottles in Puerto Rico of this wine. Wow, what a
The allocation was
privilege.
30 bottles. I'm looking to rescue some additional bottles from other states, but the initial allocation was 30. I mean, the production is about 300 200 to 300 six-packs every 3, 4, or 5 years. So it's not a wine that is available every year.
It's around $156
Yes,
here,
more,
and
yeah,
it can definitely rival those lovely Bordeaux wines that retail for 2 or 3 times the price.
As I said, this is all to Cheval Blanc, which is, his favorite wine. Yeah.
The landing, the finish, the way it coats the palate, it's like when you have those huge jets, the 777s, and the pilot makes this perfect landing. Like you're sleeping and you don't even notice the plane landed, right? Because everything is in place. Everything is in order. Everything is, when you come into a hotel room for the first time, it'll never be like the first time. Everything is in order. Right?
Exactly right, yeah.
So you have the fruit, the tannin, the alcohol, the oak.
It's perfect balance.
Everything. It's like like when you take a bola de billar, right? It's esférica, lisa. What a lovely, lovely, lovely wine.
And this one, Alex feels that, he feels comfortable saying that this could age up to 40 plus years. Who knows? I'll be dead by then, but, to confirm that. But it's a one because of what you just mentioned, all those characteristics, it's well in balance, well beyond well in balance. That acidity keeps it together, that fruit will last long.
What I love about this wine is that on the nose, you may think that because of those raciny or those maraschino cherry notes, that it's gonna be a little bit sweet, but it isn't at all.
It's bone dry.
It's gorgeous wine.
The residual of this is 1.2.
Yeah.
So very bone dry.
What do you pair this with?
Oh my God, this I have
with a poem.
Yeah.
With music.
Just in a fireplace with some great company, it will be enough. But food wise, I think. I go with lean meats with this one. A filet to me, or Chateaubriand or something like that.
You had an event last night, and we're gonna wrap this up with this. What was the reception like in Puerto Rico? We have wine lovers who are knowledgeable and who are very demanding on the quality of their wines. How did they react when they tasted it?
Well, the duet and the whites, all of them were extremely well received. I was happily surprised that at least the people that attended yesterday, they were so open to try new styles from new areas. So I was very happy and very proud, of the folks that came in. But the reception was absolutely fantastic. I thought the food and the pairing that they made with them actually opened up and gave the opportunity in both tastings that we did yesterday.
I'm sure it's going to go really well.
And Colos that will be introduced, later today. I'm looking. I know it's going to do it.
Oh, it's going to be a rock star. And we're finished. We're going to finish now. But I've found through many years of doing interviews that Puerto Rican consumers like to discover and venture out and try new things. And perhaps you may tell them, hey, Slovenian wines. In other parts of the world, they would say, really? Do they make wine? But here, I'm sure that they're going to be interested.
Or where's Slovenia?
Or where's Slovenia, exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you, Greg, so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invite.
Mi gente, prueben estos vinos, vengan a la bodega de Méndez, son maravillosos, son distintos, son elegantes, pero tienen un buen balance entre fruta, elegancia, hay poder, pero no hay... la palabra que estoy buscando es hay poder, hay prudencia y no hay excesos. No hay algo descarrilado. Son vinos que están integrados, hay mucha armonía y hay un poder prudente, es lo que quería decir. Gracias a la bodega de Méndez, gracias Giacomo, gracias Edu, gracias Meli, gracias todo el equipo. Recuerda suscribirte al canal y compartir esta entrevista. Salud.
Salud, gracias Puerto Rico.
Salud, familia.
Bye bye.